Hey everybody, it's Miracle, and today this is going to be kind of another rambling video. I feel bad for our little European fellow servers, and just wanted to explain how it's funny almost, but because I'm sure the US and the European servers have both been screwed at times by each other, but it feels like ever since 7.2 release, poor European servers have been getting shafted all the time with these broken shore buildings. So let's start it out. Now the first long rod that they got jammed up there was when the Mage Tower, both the US and European servers went after the Mage Tower first. Not sure why everybody wanted the Mage Tower so bad, but in any case, that's what we went after first. And when the Mage Tower was being built, the US servers completed, I think, at day 5, as well as the European servers, but it was a pretty long difference between completion on each of the regions. So, a couple hours at least. And when it was first built, the Mage Tower, I think that the rate of the artifact power tokens was extremely high, or it was bugged, and I'm pretty sure it was nerfed at some point. I think I remember vaguely reading that. And also they nerfed the chests because people were like abusing cross-realm hopping to like get thousands of resources per hour, and then they ended up nerfing what was inside of the chests and everything. It was not long after, because there were just so many chests and so many people hopping. I didn't even know about this until afterwards. I'm not so sure I would have done it, because to me, it doesn't sound wrong. I'm not saying, because I have nothing against server hop. I would be a hypocrite. I use it all the time. Just, I don't know. It sounded like almost an exploit, because I know how they intended it for you to get so many resources per hour. So by hopping to steal these chests, I don't know. It seemed like it would be something you'd get in trouble for. But it turns out they didn't do anything. So more power to the people that got it. So the first thing that got shafted, though, was a lot of that stuff was nerfed before the Mage Tower ended up on European servers. So a lot of people got a lot of things before the European Mage Tower finally appeared. The second shaftening happened with, okay, the next building that was built was Nether Disruptor, if I remember, and that was fine. But then, come to the Command Center. So the Command Center opens up world quests inside the cathedral. Does a couple other things, but the cathedral was a nice quest because it was a dungeon quest, so it gave a lot of rep. 250 was a lot, and you know, everybody wanted their flying faster, so the more rep you could pack up, the better. And when the command center came up on the European servers, quite a few hours before it did on the US servers, and when it came up, the cathedral world quest appeared. And this was like prime time during European servers, so it would have been like really late for the US, something very, very late, but for the European, it would have been like the afternoon, I'm pretty certain. So for 8 hours while the command center had just came up, everybody who completed this quest didn't get any rep. It was bugged until it came up on like the US, and that's when it got fixed. So the poor European people were like, okay, because you know, at that time it just didn't seem like there were very many world quests, and every world quest counted a lot. Like, you wanted to get every little ounce of rep. So if you were a human and you were using the Dark Moon Fair buff at the time, that was 300 rep you just missed out on because it didn't give any. So I know that made a lot of people mad, because I was talking about it in my video when the building first came up, and I was getting so many comments like, I didn't get any rep from this. There's no rep. Doesn't give rep. Blah, blah, blah. And then I did the world quest, and I was like, it gave me rep. Turns out it hadn't been fixed until it came up on US. So poor European people got screwed once again. And then finally, the most recent one was last night. So this is what I don't get, because okay, so last night the US servers went down. It must have happened really late, because on the East Coast, I was offline at like 3 in the morning, so it was really late, and I don't remember the server being down before I got off. And so when I got off, at some point, apparently there was an invasion between the hours of like 3 and whenever the server came up this morning. I don't remember exactly. You know, I didn't log on till later in the afternoon a little bit, but the server must have come up and there was an invasion between that time. So in compensation for the fact that the US servers missed an invasion, Blizzard was like, we'll just complete these 2 buildings for the US servers, because this was only like 20% and this was like at 80. So that alone was like another 5 days before both buildings would have naturally been built. So they were just like, yeah, they missed a 6-hour invasion that like nobody would have seen for the most part. I mean, how many people are like playing WoW between the hours of 4 a.m. until probably some like 11 a.m. There's a very few people. Like that's the graveyard shift. Sure, I'm sure there's a lot of people, but I mean, actively speaking, the majority of the people are on between the hours of probably noon until 8 or something like that. And it was just like, okay, we'll just skip 5 days of progress because some people missed out on something they probably would have been sleeping through anyways. And not to diss anybody on the US servers that is up between those times. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with playing those hours. Just it seems so ridiculous because they haven't been worrying that much about how invasions were anyways. They pretty much built invasions that screw anybody that works, because most of the people I know can't even participate in them because they have to go to work. So it's like, why did they care that a lot of people missed an invasion because their server was down? So let's just complete these buildings. Like, I don't rationally get how those connect. And the European server has no... The European servers, I don't think, were affected. I think the European servers stayed up. I'm not positive on that. If you're from European server, and then they went down too. But the US servers, I know, for certain were down. But the European ones stayed up. However, their buildings are not completed too. They're like way behind now. This is legitimately like 5 days of progress difference. I mean, it's not like the effects are that important, but it's pretty unfair. I mean, that's the way I look at it. The invasion wouldn't have affected the progress of these things really at all. The world quests still would have been there when we woke up. They would have been possible to complete. Like, there's legitimately no connection why they decided to do this. Unless they screwed up and it's some kind of major bug, but I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I just feel bad for the European servers, man. This 7.2 patch has just not been friendly for them. Like, these buildings, I don't know. I want to say that it would be fair if they went ahead and completed the buildings on the European servers too, because I don't know if this is done yet. I know this, I mean, this is a world boss, so this is really important. We'll be getting a world boss even faster. And when I don't know, like, how important it is that that's going to affect any kind of progress, really, but I'm just saying it seemed unfair, you know. Poor European peoples. But I guess in about 5 days, y'all will be getting your buildings that we got for free. Sucks to suck, I suppose, you know. Whatever. At least, you know, I don't know if these buffs are the same, because, you know, the buffs are on a rotation scale, so I don't know if it's the same buffs. But this one sounds nice. I still haven't gotten to test it. I've been busy all day. And we all saw how well it worked with the chests. Didn't seem to affect that too much in the slightest, and we still got screwed. But, like I said, sorry Europeans. Feel bad for you. I really do. I think it's funny. I'm not gonna lie, I find it hilarious, but I do feel bad because I know a huge portion of my audience is from the European servers, and every single time I'm hearing comments about how you got screwed. So, good luck. Sorry that you're on the European servers. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.